It's been so hard choosing only 2 psalms for this poetry week, and I also wanted to choose ones that aren't familiar too. So for the first one, I've chosen Psalm 92. The reasons for this is because it's about thanksgiving, being grateful, being joyful, being confident that the Lord is going to sort out all the bad guys. The reassurance of when you follow God, you will flourish all of your life, and it's about singing. This is so beautifully written by David, and originally it was written for the Sabbath day. So here's a side note. Sabbath means to rest. But in our world we have twisted it and created Sundays as the day of rest. Well, actually think about this. Any day could be your Sabbath. Any day could be set aside for you to take time out, to rest and be with God. How about giving it a go? Anyway, back to the psalm. Here is a perfect way of setting your Sabbath on the right footing. I love the way this psalm starts off with such joy. I can imagine the excitement as David has the urge to exclaim his desire to follow and offer up God with praise and adoration. And then David goes on and identifies how God is creator, maker and ruler of all. David uses quite strong language as he describes what happens to those who don't or won't believe in his magnificent God. And then he intersperts that again with more joyous claims, as in verse 8 it says, "But you, O Lord, are forever exalted." There is such continuous confidence, reassurance and acclaims of allowing God into his life. And right at the end are these beautiful verses of such description of how all of us could be like. Verse 12 onwards says, "The righteousness will flourish like a palm tree. They will grow like a cedar of Lebanon, planted in the house of the Lord. They will flourish in the courts of our God. They will still bear fruit in an old age, and they will stay fresh and green, proclaiming, 'The Lord is upright. He is my rock, and there is no wickedness in him.'" Absolutely divine. What a beautiful confirmation on how we can grow in our faith, building the strength like a tree, flourishing in a picturesque but firm way. And even as we grow older in age, the fruit of our faith doesn't wither, but is still fresh and ripe and green. Truly wonderful to read, and an affirmation that it doesn't matter how old or young we are, God will use us in the way he feels fit. This psalm for me has reminded me how we need to make Sabbath time to our God, to give him the honour he deserves and the thanks that is rightly his. He created us, he provides for us, he loves us, and as it says in the last line, he is our rock. David wrote this psalm as his way of saying thank you to God. What is your way of saying thank you to God? How are you going to sing his praise and make music in his name? We may not all be poets, singers or musicians, but we all have the ability to do something, whether that is drawing, creating, writing or colouring. Maybe it's something to think about, because with our talents, God's love can be seen in a new and fresh ways, and what better way to share his glory? As we enter into this poetry week, let us enter into a new sphere of openness in absorbing the glory of God, allowing these beautiful written poems or psalms to filter into our hearts, minds and souls, and for you to build on the love you have for God, and for it to become more stronger and more intimate than ever before. God bless you all.